Hello and welcome. I'm Ashley, and I hope that whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you celebrate, you are having just the merriest day. Today's video is a Chatty Get Ready with me. I'm going to be doing some Christmas themed questions from a Christmas tag. So we're going to be talking about all of my Christmas preferences. I'm going to be talking about decorations, Christmas food, Christmas movies. It's all Christmas. This video is going to be going up on Christmas Eve. So if you are someone who celebrates Christmas Eve, well then Merry Christmas to you. And if you're someone who celebrates something else, Happy Holidays. If you celebrate nothing, I love you too. I hope you enjoy me talking about Christmas. Before we start chatting and creating this very classic Christmas makeup look, if you wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, it helps out my channel. It's completely free and I appreciate it so much. All right, let's talk Christmas. So I'm using some questions from a Christmas tag. This is called the Holly Jolly Christmas tag, and I found it on the blog Mama Cat's Losing It. So shout out to Mama Cat. I hope she didn't lose it. Also, all the products that I'm using, I will put them right here. They'll be right here on the screen as I use them. So when I start using a new product, you'll see it up here on the screen, and everything is also linked in the description box below. That way, if I just don't talk about a product because I'm talking about these Christmas questions, you'll still be able to find what it was that I was using. All right, let us begin. So the first question is favorite Christmas movie, and I'm such a big Christmas person that I feel like I have several, but for different categories. So if we're talking like family friendly Christmas movie, like everyone's gonna sit down and watch it, then it's definitely Home Alone, the first one. Always Home Alone, the first one. Then like my favorite Christmas movie to watch though, like period point blank, like the Christmas movie I never get tired of is Christmas Vacation. I absolutely love the movie Christmas Vacation. I think I know it like front to back. Like I know all the jokes. I can like just talk along with it. I don't, because that would be really a pain in the butt for everyone that was watching with me. But I mentioned, I think last month in a video, that I love to watch that movie. I put it on in the background like every day of the Christmas season. I basically watch it at least once a day. Sometimes I watch it multiple times a day because I just love it that much. It's my favorite Christmas movie. I think it's so good. I say that I have like multiple favorites though, because then if we're talking like animated Christmas movie, then my favorite is the original Grinch. I love the original Grinch so much. I think it's so cute. I could watch that over and over again too. I just love it. And I love the narration, which I think is by a guy named Boris Karloff. I'll put his name down here. And he just does such a good job with the narration. I absolutely love it. So yeah, I have just multiple Christmas favorites. I also like my favorite like Christmas movie that's also like, I guess could be like a movie you watch any time of year, is called The Family Stone. That one is so good. It's very like bittersweet. It definitely gets me in the feels. But that's a really good movie. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. It's just a good movie, but it's also a Christmas movie. And then of course I love like A Christmas Story. I watch A Christmas Story every Christmas Day. I think most of us do. I definitely can't just narrow it down to one. I think I would be really sad if I could only watch one Christmas movie ever. But I would still probably watch Christmas Vacation. So yeah, that's my favorite. Next question. Are you on the naughty list or the nice list? I certainly hope I'm on the nice list. I think I'm a very nice person. So I kind of pride myself on being a nice person. Sometimes I think I'm too nice. If you're like, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. 3, show us an embarrassing Christmas photo. Okay, this is funny. I have one in mind. I will put it up here on the screen. I actually sent this to Kate. I mean, by the time you see this, it'll be a couple weeks ago, but at this point, it was only a week ago. I'm filming this video like a week ahead of time. But I sent this picture to Kate because it came up. I don't know if you guys updated your iPhone, if you have an iPhone, and then they have like the widgets now. And so on my home screen every day, there's like a little square that shows me like photo memories and stuff. It just picks like, sometimes it picks like the same day, but like a year or 2 or 3 ago. And then sometimes it just randomly shows me something. And the other day it randomly showed me this picture. It's a picture of a picture because the picture's from like 2002. So there definitely wasn't, we didn't have camera phones back then in 2002. Did we? No. I don't think I had a Razor yet. I think that wasn't until like 2003 or 4 that I think I got a Razor. I had the red Razor flip phone because I was a big fan of Bono and U2, and he supported that Project Red. So I have so much red merchandise. I have shirts. I had the red Razor flip phone. Anyway, point I was getting at. What was the question? Oh, okay. So it showed me this picture, and it's a picture of a picture from 2002, and it's my brothers and I, and we, of course, because it's 2002, we have khakis, and they have like denim button-up shirts, and I have like a button-up shirt that's in like a matching shade of plaid, and we're posing with our dog, who was really an evil dog. My parents, it was 2002, so my parents didn't realize that they were getting a dog from a puppy mill, because back then we couldn't just like Google and figure out, oh, this breeder is not reputable. So my parents thought they were buying from a reputable breeder, and no, they were buying from a puppy mill. Yikes. So that dog was a little bit nuts. And fun story, that dog would bite people. It was a whole thing. His name was Mr. Boots. He would bite people. He bit my cousins. He bit the meter man that comes to check your power meter. And the meter man ended up pepper spraying him. My dad accidentally ran him over with my mom's huge SUV one time. Then my dad ran him over with our boat. We had a boat. We would go out to the lake most weekends during like the summer. My dad took him out on the boat, ran him over with the boat, thought like the dog jumped off the front of the boat, and my dad just went right over him, couldn't stop. I mean, boats aren't like cars. It's not like my dad wanted to run him over. It's just like a boat doesn't just like stop, it's in water. You can't just brake as quickly as you can in a car. So the dog got run over. My dad thought he had drowned. No, he came back up. He survived. He just was like a dog that had 9 lives. And then one day he disappeared, and it was like he ran away. And I felt so bad for years because I looked and looked. I called all around looking for this dog. And then come to find out, my mom let it slip a couple years ago, like 10, 12 years after the fact. My mom lets it slip that actually they did find the dog. Someone brought him back. This old man found him, brought the dog back. And my parents were like, why don't you keep the dog? He's terrible. And they never told my brothers and I. So for years we thought that our dog just never was found. So yeah, parents telling fibs. The next question is, have you ever had a white Christmas? I have had a white Christmas, and actually growing up, we could have had a white Christmas like whenever we wanted, because I grew up in the mountains of North Carolina. So we were always like within 20 to 30 minutes of several ski resorts. So I guess we could have, anytime we wanted, could have gone to the ski resort for Christmas and seen a white Christmas, because they make snow. But I have had a couple actually like white Christmases just organically where it happened to snow on Christmas. And it's so, snow on Christmas, really, it's not like snow any other day of the year. It's so magical, especially because growing up in North Carolina, snow is always an event because we don't have enough snow plows for the whole state, because a lot of places in the state, it doesn't really snow often. So we don't have enough snow plows to go around, or like salt trucks to go around. So when there's like a snow that reaches a bunch of the state, it's always an event. Things always shut down, like even if there's just an inch of snow. So I've always loved like the peace and quiet of that aspect of snow, but also the literal peace and quiet of snow, because snow, it actually it does something with sound. I've looked it up before, but basically it just makes things literally quieter. The world is actually genuinely quieter when it's snowing. Like it's got something to do with like sound insulation. I've looked it up before, but I don't remember now. And I can't look and do my brows at the same time, but just trust me, okay? And if I'm wrong, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm not wrong. So I love that it makes the world more quiet, but then you add on to it that already Christmas is a day where most things are closed, and it's just, in general, it's a more quiet day of the year. So you add that together, and it's just the most peaceful, serene, just Perfect. Absolutely love it. I think I have some pictures of a white Christmas actually. And if I can find them, I think my mom has them and can send them to me, and I'll put them on the screen for you. Do you start your Christmas shopping on Black Friday or wait until the last minute? I start my Christmas shopping earlier than Black Friday. I generally start Christmas shopping, I want to say like November 1st. I start to think about it. And if I see like a good deal, I go for it. Generally, like during the Sephora, the holiday sale, I will always Christmas shop during that. But that's generally like at the end of the month, isn't it? When was the Sephora sale this year? It was like the end of October, beginning of November, right? Yeah, I did quite a bit of Christmas shopping during that sale. I mean, mostly for myself, but for the couple people that I, have, like my mom and my sister-in-law and my brother's girlfriend, people that I know love like skincare and will use it. I did use the sale for that. I just am like, I am a Christmas giving person. I could really care less about getting Christmas gifts, except for this year. I want the robot mask. And if you know, you know. I want the Dr. Dennis Gross robot mask. And if I wake up, because today is Christmas Eve, if I wake up tomorrow and Santa didn't put that under the tree, I am going to throw me a little like Dudley Dursley fit. Just kidding. I won't. I'll just buy it for myself at that point. But I'm just saying, I don't generally really ask for a lot of stuff. I mean, or really anything. I think maybe each year I maybe find like one thing to ask for because I don't want people to have to like, be stressing out over what to get me. And I don't know. I know that sometimes there are people that are hard to shop for. I don't think I'm one of those people. Like if you just give me anything beauty related, I'm gonna love it. But that being said, I am more of a Christmas giving person. I love to give gifts. I think it's something that I'm incredibly good at. I think just because I tend to be very thoughtful and intuitive, and let me just talk about how great I am. Just kidding. I know my strengths, and one of them is giving gifts. I'm very good at it, and I love doing it. It makes me so happy to be able to give people gifts. I love wrapping the gifts. I love gift giving. So I start thinking of it probably all the way back in September, but I start like shopping in earnest around like the very beginning of November, probably like right as soon as Halloween is done. I'm thinking about Christmas presents. If you could be in any Christmas movie, what would it be? Okay, so if I could be in any Christmas movie, I would have them make a Sesame Street movie because my daughter loves Sesame Street, and then she and I could be in the Sesame Street movie because then I think she would think I was really cool. I mean, she's only 16 months, so she thinks I'm really cool already, but still, I could always be cooler. Name all of Santa's reindeer. Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, right? Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen? Yes. But do you recall the most famous reindeer of all? It's Rudolph. Rudolph's the red-nosed reindeer. All right, that's all of them. When does your family put up your Christmas tree and who decorates it? So we put up our first tree this year, or I put it up. I put it up and I decorated. I do all the decorating. So I went like really, this is our first year in this house, and I went way over with the Christmas decoration. Not way over. I mean, I just, I got mostly new stuff for the Christmas decorations. And I put up the first tree, I want to say like the week before, 1 or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I think it was 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. And the first tree, we have 2 trees. Yes. I grew up, my mom we would have at least 4 Christmas trees. We would have like a coastal themed Christmas tree in our sunroom. Then we would have my mom's like her vision tree, like whatever grand vision she had for that year. That would be like in our formal living room. And then upstairs, like near our bedrooms, there was like a foyer where all of our I don't know how to explain it. It's like you would go up the stairs and there's like a big foyer, and then our rooms were off of that foyer, like our bedrooms. So that place would have a tree that had like all of like our family ornaments and things like that. And then on our like bonus floor, I guess you would call it, where we had like our pool table and all of our like video games and stuff, we had another tree, and it was like a very retro tree. And it always reminded me of growing up, we would go to my great aunt and uncle's for Christmas Eve. And this was something we did from as long as I can remember being a small child up until I was about 17 years old. And they always had in their basement, they had a second tree that was like that bonus room tree. It had like a retro, like the bubble lights, and it just, I don't know, when I think of that, that was like my favorite Christmas tradition, and I miss it so much. And so I decided this year, let's have multiple trees. I wanted 3. My husband compromised with me and we went for 2. So the first one we put up was like a retro themed tree, like similar to the one that was at my great aunt and uncle's and the one that was in our bonus room growing up. And it has bubble lights on it, but I kind of combined like the family tree idea with it. So it also has our family ornaments. Like there's a little Elmo on there for my daughter because she absolutely loves Elmo. Oh my gosh. He's very popular in our house. When our daughter wakes up, she immediately asks for Elmo. So he's a very popular guy. So we have like an Elmo ornament on there. And then I have a couple ornaments that my mom gave me for our new house, even though my mom kept I have a Christmas ornament Barbie collection of like all the Barbie Christmas ornaments, like yearly Christmas ornaments that have come out. I had them dating back to like the early 90s, like since the first year that they made them. My mom's always gotten me that year's Barbie ornament. But my mom's keeping that collection at her house because I guess she doesn't trust me to take care of it. So that's okay. But she did give me a few ornaments. Like I have a Dorothy. I have a little Gilda the Good Witch that I've had since I was very young because I loved the Wizard of Oz growing up. So I have like little Wizard of Oz ornaments and things like that. So I kind of combined the retro tree and the family Christmas tree, and I put that one up again like 1 to 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. Then our main Christmas tree, which is like my creative vision, if you will, is, oh my God, I love it. But I put that up like 2 days after Thanksgiving. So the weekend of Thanksgiving, I put that up, and I love that tree. So I like to stick to like a very classic Christmas color palette. I like to do like silver, gold, red, and like some touches of green. I just like the traditional kind of colors. Every year I think maybe I'll do something, with like a different color palette. Like maybe I'll do a navy Christmas and then I changed my mind. I just like the classics. So our tree, we got it from Balsam Hill, and it was definitely an investment. But the thing is, we can't have a real Christmas tree because we are going to visit my family for Christmas. So since we're going to North Carolina, I don't want to leave a real tree here in Delaware to dry out and die. That just doesn't sound like a fun idea. So, knowing that we generally travel for the holidays, we decided it would make sense to invest in a really nice faux tree. And let me tell you what, this faux tree is like, it's nice. It's so nice. Growing up in North Carolina, I was always really close to Christmas tree farms. So like the Christmas trees that we got would be like, they would come from like 15 minutes down the road. They would be so fresh, so beautiful. And they are generally Fraser firs. So the fake tree that I got from Balsam Hill is a Fraser fir. And it is so realistic. I am such a picky person about Christmas trees. So if it was not realistic, I would be really angry. But it is really realistic. And oh my gosh, I swoon for it. So love that tree. And just the decorations, again, very like traditional. This tag did not ask for all this detail, but I love talking about Christmas in general. So I'm off on a tangent. Funny enough, the next question is your Christmas tree real or fake? Both trees are fake. The next question is peeking at gifts or be surprised? Be surprised. There's no peeking at gifts. That takes all the fun out of it. Show us your ugly Christmas sweater if you have one. I do have an ugly Christmas sweater. I've had the same one for a long time. And it's funny because I got it years ago and it actually was not as easy to find ugly Christmas sweaters back then. So the one I got says Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, because I love Home Alone. So I remember like I had to like search and search for that thing. And now you can find them on Amazon so easy. But when I got this thing years ago, it was not so easy to find them. If you could be under the mistletoe with anyone, who would it be? I think I have to say my husband. One, because it's true, and two, because can you imagine if I said someone else and then my husband watched this video? That would be a really awkward Christmas. No, but genuinely, yes, of course, my husband. Does your family have a special holiday recipe you like to make? Okay. We have quite a few. So we make a lot of cookies in my family at Christmas time. My favorite cookies that we make are peanut butter cookies with the Hershey Kisses in them. Those are the best cookies ever, period. They're so simple, but they're so good. And I'm going to tell you our secret family recipe. I'm going to share this with you because I like you and I want to spread the Christmas cheer. So our like top secret family recipe handed down for generations for peanut butter cookies. 1 cup peanut butter, 1 cup sugar, 1 egg. I think you bake them at 350. I don't know. I always forget and have to call my grandmother. So good luck. I know everything but how long to bake them and at what temperature. We also do, like, our big tradition is we do a Christmas breakfast. Like, we get up, we open presents while we're having like coffee and toast, and then we make a big like Christmas, well, I guess it's a brunch. It's a brunch because we have it around like 11 usually. And we all contribute. Like everyone makes something. So, I mean, it's just a huge breakfast. We have eggs scrambled, made to order. We have homemade biscuits. We have every kind of meat imaginable that comes from a hog because I grew up on a farm. My dad has hogs. He raises hogs. So we always have like country ham, bacon, sausage that all come from hogs that he's raised that year. And oh my God, so good. So good. I love pigs, but then like it's a hard thing. I love pigs because they're so intelligent and they're adorable and I just want to hug them. But then I also eat them and I feel very conflicted about it a lot of the time. But anyway, point being, so we have this just huge brunch and that's like our big meal. We do like 2 meals that day. We don't do 3. We do this big brunch and then we don't eat again until the evening, at which time we have like a standing rib roast is what it's called. Oh my gosh, love a standing rib roast. It's basically a prime rib, or it is prime rib, I think. Yeah. Another thing that we have at that breakfast that is like, honestly, I think one of my favorite things is we have these pancakes. And if you love pancakes, I'm about to make your life 10 times better. These pancakes we get, they're from the brand Tin to Bake. And it's called their Maple Burst pancakes. They have these little like maple crystals in them. They're the most delicious pancakes you've ever had in your life. If you have an Ingles supermarket near you, Ingles does carry it. If not, you're like me, we don't have Ingles in Delaware. So I have to order them from Amazon. They're worth ordering from Amazon. They're so good. We have a lot of Christmas traditions around food now that I think about it. My husband's from Puerto Rico, so now on Christmas Eve, we make a pernil, which is like a Puerto Rican pork shoulder. That's one thing that both of our cultures have in common. I'm from North Carolina. My husband's from Puerto Rico. Both places love pork. So that's like a good thing that we have going on. But it's so funny to think of like how many traditions are food-based. Are you a pro present wrapper or do you fail miserably? I'm a very good present wrapper. I'm not as good as my mom. My mom is like so good at wrapping presents. Like everything is like so flawless. All of her lines are so clean. I'm not as good as she is, but I'm pretty good and I have gotten better over the last couple years. I really try quite hard when it comes to present wrapping because like I said, I love giving gifts, so I want them to look pretty and I just love the whole experience. Also, one of my favorite things is to like watch like under the Christmas tree, like watch it like build up with presents. I absolutely love that. It makes me feel like it's Christmas. I could really just I mean, I would be fine never opening presents, just leaving them under the tree all year round so that I could just look at a Christmas tree with presents under it. Like, that would be beautiful for me. Have you ever gone Christmas caroling? Yes, I have. So growing up, my friend and I used to have like a joint Christmas party, and we would often, like, that would be one of the things that we did as children during that Christmas party, is we would go Christmas caroling. We also would go Christmas caroling with school. Our school would go to the senior citizens home, and we would do Christmas caroling there. My church youth group did Christmas caroling. I've done quite a bit of Christmas caroling in my day, which is funny considering how not talented of a singer I am. But then again, I think, it doesn't, when you're kind of like in a group, right? It doesn't really much matter. Everyone's voices kind of just meld together, and it's just a beautiful chorus. There's also something called a parranda, where my husband is from, in Puerto Rico, and I love those. It's basically, the first time I saw one, I was in love. Basically like church groups, sometimes not even churches, just groups of friends and things, they'll get together, and they basically go like on a little parade, like around neighborhoods, singing Christmas songs, and sometimes they'll raise money for churches doing that. But it's just a way for them to like spread Christmas cheer, because Christmas in Puerto Rico is a huge season. It's actually longer than ours because, at least for my husband's family, like the day that they exchange most of their presents is actually Three Kings Day, which is the 6th of January. So they have like a very long Christmas season, and it's a really huge thing. They have like Christmas festivals. Most towns and cities in Puerto Rico have their own Christmas fair festival kind of things going on, and those last a couple days. They have like artisans that come in, and there's food and music, and you can buy different like crafts and things like that. It's just so lovely, and I mean, it's such a wonderful culture. I'm very blessed, I think, that I got to marry into that culture. What tops your tree? So on the retro tree, we have the little Santa Stop Here topper, which, fun fact, Gigi Hadid has the same tree topper. So I think that makes me kind of cool. And then on our big tree, we have, it's just like a big bow that I made out of wired ribbon, like wired silver and gold ribbon. And I just made a big bow. I went back and forth on the idea of doing an angel, because I know an angel is much more traditional than like just a big bow. But in the end, I decided, no, I'm going to go with the ribbon. And oh my gosh, something I learned this year that I want to share, maybe you already do this, maybe you haven't ever tried it, is this year I did the tree topper first. So I did the tree topper, and then like on the retro tree, I did the tree topper, and then I have these little like curly Q kind of picks that I use to create like a spray up. And then on the big tree, I did the ribbon and some frosted cranberries, as well as some little like sparkly champagne gold ting ting branches. Yes, they're called ting ting branches, and they're wonderful, but glitter goes everywhere, and you will be covered in glitter for the entire Christmas season. So there's that consideration. But my point here is, doing the top of the Christmas tree first really helped me balance all of the decorations on the tree so much easier. So I cannot believe that this was the first time I ever did that, but it's worth a try. If you have never tried to do the top of your tree first when decorating, highly recommend giving that technique a try. It really helped me out a lot. And the big tree, there's one thing I wanted to mention about it. So I have loved Etsy for years, and a lot of like the really cute Christmas decorations that I have in my house that I feel like are very unique come from Etsy. So for example, on our big tree, I have these gorgeous satin red ornaments that were handmade by a woman in the Netherlands, and they are so gorgeous. They have these beautiful like rhinestones that she puts on them. They're just absolutely gorgeous. They're so gorgeous that I literally forgot to do my concealer under my eyes. So that should tell you how much I love them. And then I also got so many cute like garlands from Etsy this year. I got the garland that's on like our TV stand, and it's lit up, and it's so beautiful. I got a mantelpiece that I put on this little stand we have that our Wi-Fi router sits on. two little trees. Like this little tree behind me came from the same person that did the garland and the mantelpiece. So beautiful. I got a nativity wreath, which oh my God, my nativity wreath I am obsessed with. It's so beautiful and it's so unique. I had really wanted a nativity, but I have a 16-month-old, right? So I'm like, well, my nativity is definitely not going to survive her. And I thought, well, what if I had like a nativity on a wreath and I could like hang it up on the wall? I searched it on Etsy and sure enough, someone makes it. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It brings me so much joy because it's also lighted, which is so nice. I love things that come pre-lit. That's actually how I got the idea to start looking for my Christmas decor on Etsy, because I was looking at lighted wreaths and they were crazy expensive everywhere. I went to Etsy, found one that was prettier than the ones that I had found that were super expensive, and it was pre-lit and it didn't cost me a car payment. So I'm all for it. Next question. Do you make New Year's resolutions? It's a two-parter. Do you make New Year's resolutions? Do you stick to them? I make New Year's intentions because I guess I'm a very like new age kind of person. I make New Year's intentions, and yes, I generally stick to them quite well. I'm proud to say. So this year, my New Year's intention was to start my YouTube channel and to post 3 times a week. And I have done that for most of the year, save like 1 or 2 weeks here and there. Since March, I have consistently done that. And it's something that I wanted to do for years. And I set intentions to keep myself on track, and I kept with it. So I'm really proud of myself. And this year, I think my intention is going to be to keep up with getting healthier. I just want to be healthier. I don't necessarily, I mean, I'd love to be skinnier, but I just want to be healthier in general because, you know, I want to be around when my daughter's older. If she ever has kids or doesn't have kids, whatever she does, I just want to be around for her as much of her life as I can be. And, you know, I want to have a long life and be healthy and get to enjoy it. So this year has definitely, I think, brought to life how important health is. So a few weeks ago, actually, I set the intention that I wanted to start to get healthier, and I have lost 20 pounds in 6 weeks. I am really proud of myself. I put on a lot of weight when I was pregnant, of course. I mean a lot of weight, like 60 pounds. So I'm just putting that out there because it's not abnormal. And I mean, I know that it's not the healthiest thing, but you know what? It happened, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it, but I'm really proud of myself that I have done so well. And when I say I'm not going to beat myself up about it, I want to mention like 2 things that if you're someone who has some New Year's resolutions or intentions that you want to set forth, I want to mention 2 things that really have helped me that I think might help you. The first is the book Daring Greatly by Brene Brown. It really tackles shame very well. It explains why shame is not very healthy in getting yourself to do things. It's not a great motivator, even though it is a motivator that a lot of us, I think, sometimes think is going to be motivating. Like we beat ourselves up over things, not realizing that in turn makes us less likely to change the thing we're beating ourselves up about. So that book is amazing. Definitely read it if you haven't. The other book is a book that helped me a lot, and I think helped me probably the most in actually, you know, following through with my intention of starting this channel. And that is the book Take Control of Your Life by Mel Robbins. If you are someone like me who is a recovering perfectionist, you know, you find that it's hard for you to start things because you never feel like they're perfect enough to share or perfect enough to move to the next step. That book, it's going to help you like nothing you've ever read. It helped me, or not read, because it's an Audible book. You have to listen to it. So it's an Audible exclusive, actually. I listened to it, and I mean, it changed my life. It really changed my life. It helped me start this channel. I can't even explain. It got me in the right mental space to, you know, actually follow through with this intention that I've had for 10 years. I had wanted to start this channel for 10 years and never did. And that book helped me do it. It literally helped me take control of my life, like the book says. So highly, highly recommend listening to that audiobook. You have been granted one Christmas wish. What will it be? a Dr. Dennis Gross robot mask. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. My wish would be for this plague to be gone. That would be my wish. I'm ready to be done with this. It was an experience. It was something else. I think I've developed some I don't know. I think some like depression era, like frugality and tough skin. I feel like I understand now people who went through the Great Depression a little bit better. Definitely not saying that this is the same. I'm just saying I understand them a little bit better now. But yeah, I'm ready to be done with it. I want to be able to travel freely. I want to be able to see my family when I want to see my family. And I want people to be healthy. That's what I want. I want people to be healthy again. This has sucked, you guys. I don't know how, I mean, I don't want to like throw a stink bomb in this video, but, and I say this as someone who I know that I have been so privileged, not just through this whole ordeal, but really through my whole life. You know, and even this year, I wasn't really financially hurt. I, haven't lost anyone. Knock on wood. But even so, I mean, it was just really tough. And so I can't imagine how hard this has been on people who have not had the privileges that I have had throughout this year. I'm ready for a new year without this scourge on the earth. I want it to be done. I'm out of Christmas questions, so I'm just going to talk about the makeup I used. So I used the Natasha Denona Glam Palette. And I know some of you are going to recognize that that was something that was actually a fail. I think on my September faves and fails, that was a fail. I'm giving it another shot. I don't know if it's just because I didn't love the formula next to the gold palette formula, or the Biba palette was the one that I was using a lot back then. So I decided to give it another shot. It actually worked quite well for me today. Don't really have any complaints. I mean, to me, this was a fail when I had it. I didn't think the formula was as great as the Biba palette. And I don't know if that's because the Biba palette is the bigger palette and it's $129. I don't know if there's a formula difference. And it's just because I was comparing them side to side, and maybe the Biba just was a little bit more blendable and creamy, and so it made the Glam palette look, less good of a formula. Less good? like a worse formula. But trying it today on its own, not having used a Natasha Denona palette for a couple weeks now, I'm actually quite happy with it. So there's that. All right, I threw on a little bit of bronzer from the Hourglass Sculpture Unlocked palette. I know that I use this in almost every video right now, but that's reflective of real life. I use this almost every day. I just absolutely love it. I think that Hourglass has such a great powder formula. I just can't talk enough about it. On my lips today, I'm going classic Christmas red. We're going there. So I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Aqua Lip Liner in 19C. And then I'm going to use this that I'm so excited about. This is the Tom Ford lip color in Cherry Lush. And it looks like Christmas. So this is happening. I can't talk through lips. That's why I'm telling you ahead of time. So let's do the lips. All right, we're all finished. I am quite ecstatic with how this turned out. Again, actually kind of surprised. The Glam palette, maybe I was wrong about it. I don't know. I'm kind of loving the tones in this palette. Like, this is very flattering on my skin tone. I'm loving the cool toned eyes with this gorgeous red lip. Also, you can tell it's Christmas because I have Christmas nails. I am someone who uses like light pink nail polish year round, but I don't know why. I was feeling extra festive and I just wanted something festive on my nails, so I gave myself a festive gel manicure, and I'm really quite in love with it. I'm so excited that I have this gorgeous face of makeup because I'm going to go get my hair done later this afternoon. I am someone who leaves like all my beauty appointments. I try to get them as close to Christmas as I can so that I just feel like everything is like fresh and lovely for Christmas, like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'm going to get my hair done today, and then tomorrow I'm going to get my lashes redone. And I'm just excited because I have to have a full face of makeup when I go get my hair done, or I will not like how my hair turns out. It's very funny. I need to have like a good picture of how everything is gonna look together. So I always do my makeup before I get my hair done. I thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today. I hope that you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, you take care of yourself. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Bye.